Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hello, Zara. Thank you for joining in. Thank you from Florida. We have Joanne, woohoo, from Malaysia. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Dr. Renee. It's so good to have you. Thank you from Florida. We are just waiting on our guest. She's going to be here momentarily. Good morning, good morning. I have Anna from Nigeria. That's Morel from Montreal, Canada. Thank you so much for joining. We're just waiting on our guest right now. She'll soon be here. Thank you. How is everyone doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was busy for me, but I'm so excited to see everyone online. Bukky, I have you invited. We're just waiting to get you here, and we'll get this party started. We should have had some music this morning and just kind of get dancing. But without music, that's the thing with a woman of color. We don't need music to dance. I'm waiting on Bukky, and we will get this party started. Hello, hello, Bukky. Hi, Morel. Hi. Yeah, civility party. Dr. Renee, that's right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi, Charles. Emerwa. Hello, Akoswa from Virginia. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Morel. Thank you for the love, the hearts. Hello, Bukky is here. Woohoo! It's time to get the party started. I am so excited, guys. Welcome, Bukky.
Hi, Louisa. Good
morning. We are all excited to see you. We're waiting.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be online as well. Thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's fine. So we have Bukky all the way from London, UK, guys. You were blessed to have Bukky. She's extremely busy. And to get her on the call today, Bukky, I feel so honored. Thank you. Hello, Izai calling from Canada. Thank you so much. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for calling in. And you are at the right place at the right time, receiving the right message. Now, thank you for being here for the live call. And for any chance you cannot meet us here live and you have to watch the replay, not to worry. You can just leave a comment down below and we will be happy to respond to you at any time. Now, welcome. This is the 4th session of our Facebook series, Civilized Presence. Welcome, Josie. I'm not sure where you're calling from, but welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome, Daphne. Thank you. So today is May the 7th, 2018. It is Monday, 7:35 a.m. So we just have to kick it off right now. And like I said, I appreciate you for being here, making our time to be on this live session of Civilized Presence. For some of you who have been here before, you might know me, but for the purpose of those who are not here live and will be watching us on the replay, my name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am a certified master civility trainer, a Golden Rule civility statement, and a leadership expert. And you would want to know what I do. I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. So for you to be here, I do know that you have a great interest in this topic. Now, you might have people on your network who want to learn about us and what we're doing. So do us a favor, like this page. We can see all the hats. Love the page. Copy and paste the link on your group, your Facebook page, your business page, and we will be so grateful. The main goal of this Facebook series, I'm going to have to repeat to you for those who are joining us for the very first time, is to help restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversations. A lot of people send us messages every single day. What is civility? It seems so complicated. I don't even know how I'm going to do this. Do I have to get trained to be civil? That's why you need to hang tight here every Monday and Friday, 7:30 a.m. on Eastern Time. Civility, it is so easy. Tiny little steps. It could just be saying please and thank you. Did you remember to smile this morning, guys? It's the month of May, Global Civility Awareness Month. So try to sprinkle some kindness everywhere that you go. We can just make this happen if we can do it together. Thank you. So we have our guest all the way from London, UK. And she's on the spotlight. It's everything about bouquet. I'm going to go through and introduce this amazing lady. She is a certified master civility trainer based in London, UK. Yes, you heard me right. And she's also a certified image professional and also a professional presence coach. Buki is doing so much work in London. I'm so proud of her. And she is one person I'm also excited when I connect with her, as it's always about learning and learning. She's doing so much work. I'm just going to read a little bit about what she does. She works a lot with children, starting from the church and the schools outside. She's a very well-known face on TV in London, UK. So for all the people in London, UK, I know Muriel used to be in the UK. When you go back, make sure you check on Bookie. So we're just going to go right into what we have for today. So civility requires, taking on an intriguing code of behavior that is based on respect, restraint, and responsibility. And today, like you had seen our title, we're going to be talking about respect. So what does respect mean to you? Respect means different things to different people. Some people would say that respect means having a regard for someone and considering your actions and how they might impact that person. Another person would say that respect means being polite. And sometimes you hear things like, she has to earn my respect. I only respect if she respected me. But communicating respect really relates to conveying politeness and our consideration for others through whether it's verbal, nonverbal, and our tonal communication. Sometimes, especially with kids, if you have the teenagers, it's like, I wasn't rude to her. I just said, please. Okay, so we have a lot to learn this morning. So we are going to be talking about respect and why it is so important and the role that respect has to play in you being civil. I don't really think that you can be civil without being respectful. Albert Einstein quotes that, I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. That is hard because it's very difficult for some of us to follow that. But it's fine. It's not too late. It's a good time to learn. This is why we are here. Now, as civility experts, we are really guarded by the 4 E's. And the 4 E's does state that everyone in every situation, every time, gets exactly the same respect and consideration. You see why we're trying to stress on respect this morning? So I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to hit it back to Buki to talk to us about respect. So Buki, a respectful workplace creates productive and engaged employees. And on the other hand, workplaces where employees feel disrespected experience high level of turnover, conflict, grievances, and low level of engagement, attendance, and productivity. So my first question for you this morning would be, why is it important to have respect in the workplace? And how can we be of help? What kind of programs would you have to help foster respect in the workplace? Over to you, Buki.
Thank you so much, Louisa. What a great introduction. Thank you for having me on this show to start off with. I really do appreciate, and I do not take every second for granted. Louisa is a wonderful person. We connected sometime last year, and I think we just connect, tell you the truth. She's so passionate about civility, and civility seems to be the core of who we really are. So going to your question, Louisa, civility is a very interesting topic, and I do get people asking me a lot of times, so Bukky, what exactly is civility? You know, so we're talking about civility now, and how can civility help in the workplace? Workplace is somewhere that I'm sure the viewers would agree with me that we cannot avoid. Your workplace doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, the four walls of your office. For some people, if you're a freelancer, you know, your workplace is your everyday go about and, you know, people you meet and all. So how can we really help to assist with respect as far as the workplace is concerned? And you've nailed it, Louisa, because a lot of times, I think one of our colleagues still mentioned on our page recently how a friend of ours recently resigned from a place of work because she felt less valued by not just the employer, but even the people there. So civility and respect in the workplace is a very, very key thing that we need to take seriously. And I think it's something that has led to, you know, quite a number of people being stressed and having to quit or maybe constantly calling off sick because they're less treated, you know, as human by their fellow colleagues. And like you said during the introduction, a lot of people feel that once you say the pleases, the yeses, the thank yous, then yes, you're being civil. But I tell you this morning that that's just being well-mannered. And when you're well-mannered, it's so different from being civil. Civility on its own, as far as the workplace is concerned, is so important, where you have to treat each individual as equal, just like the coach you mentioned on earlier on. You need to treat your colleagues with respect. You need to show some form of empathy. You need to be able to be compassionate, you know, towards one another, being kind, not just demanding, but, you know, being supportive at the same time, knowing fully well that, you know, you are in this together and you're in this to make the workplace a better place for everyone to live in. Civility on its own is actually a measure to ensure that, you know, you ease the experience of other people who are around you. And I think when you're doing this, you're doing it not just from face value, but you're doing it from who you are, you know, your true person, the core of who you really are. So I think with us, we have a lot of courses we offer. We have the workplace civility, civility at work, you know, that we offer to offices to help them build a better working environment where the workers there are more fulfilled, where they're, you know, eager to come back to work, where they're eager to show up and even go the extra mile and do a lot more than, you know, they're being required.
Thank you so much, Bukky. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to take a break and honor Mavi Isibo. Mavi Isibo, thank you so much for joining in. Guys, do you want to know who Mavi Isibo is? She is the first image consultant in Nigeria. She has been doing this for so many years. Thank you so much, madam. I really am honored to have you on the session with your busy schedule. You got it here. Wow. I'm also going to appreciate Wale calling from Nigeria. And we have Eno. Eno is here from Virginia. So guys, we're just going to go back to this. A lot of us struggle with the art of respect and kind of incorporating it into our relationship with people. My first thing and advice would always be try to apply the golden rule in every situation that you find yourself. And what is the golden rule? Treating others the way you would love to be treated. So the question is, every time you find yourself in a situation, ask yourself, if I got the same treatment, how would I really feel? Okay, so we're going to the second question. Respecting others is taking into consideration their feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and needs. Respect builds trust, and when a person shows respect for someone, then it means that that person has some value for the other person. And interestingly, I got a question recently that reads, is it possible to respect someone without necessarily caring about them? And I thought, so Bukky, what do you think about this? Is it possible to love and not respect, or respect without loving the other person? Or why is it necessary to be respectful in every situation? Over to you, Bukky.
Fantastic question, Louisa. I tell you the truth, it's so interesting that yesterday when I went to church, it happened to be one of the points of discussion as well. We were talking and how it's so important, that the spouses have, mutual respect for one another. And I mean, which is one of the reasons why when I shared out with people on my page to say to them, please jump online to watch me this morning, because I knew we were talking about respect. A lot of times people, command respect, I would say, from others. Without even giving any themselves. But that is not to say that either of it is right. Now, Louisa, you said respect, is it possible to love without respecting, or vice versa? I would say to you this morning, there is no way you can respect anybody if you do not truly love them. Like I said to you, civility is the core of who God, I believe, created us to be. As a civil person, you need to first of all love somebody before you can get to treat them the same way you will treat yourself. If you do not love someone, you're going to be coming from that perspective of, well, I'll just do it anyway. We grew up in an environment where we've been told, respect elders, say thank you, say the pleases, maybe like the African culture where I come from, where children need to prostrate or, bow to say their greetings, maybe for somewhere in China. But tell you the truth, those are just courtesies, that we see every day. But true respect on its own is not being a reaction to fear or the rules. Is actually being proactive. Is actually being, natural in itself, where you look at things from the perspective of the other person, where I respect you not because of who you are, not because you're a manager, but I can respect every single person, but because you're just human. God created us in the same way. And I think it's important that, you respect each and everybody for that. I give you a good example. Recently, I had an experience where I needed to purchase a new car because my old one, I was involved in an accident. Well, to cut the long story short, I encountered this gentleman who seemed to be a bit dodgy, on the long run, because what he presented to me was extremely unbelievable, because we'd negotiated on a particular vehicle, but by the time I got there, the papers that he was preparing to hand over to me, to complete the transaction was a completely different one. Now, I could say to myself, well, guess what? Do I really trust that gentleman anymore? Not really, tell you the truth. And of course, at that point, I had to check myself, but that didn't change my tone to him. I didn't disrespect him because of that. I only believed in the fact that, one of the pressure of a workplace where people feel they need to, they're pressured, people these days are quite desperate, which is one of the reasons why you find a lot of incivility everywhere. So the desperation, I believe, was the angle he was coming from. Maybe he needed to meet his necessary quotas, and that was the only reason why he had to present the whole thing that way to me. Now, that's not to say that is right, but then that doesn't give me the right as well to disrespect him or disregard him because of what he's done. And I think it did end well eventually. But I mean, if it was a case where I'd gone there and I started yelling at him, for whatever he's done, I don't think we would have been able to settle things and buy the car. Of course, I didn't eventually, because like you said, once, trust has been broken, it's a bit difficult for you to want to go ahead to do. I thought this was just a good thing to share, with regards how sometimes respect could go for one another. So it's not respecting your spouse, because they make provisions like some people will believe, or maybe because they love you or they show the right attitude towards you. Is respecting them because they are human, and understanding that you have to love them in spite of who they are. And sometimes people come from different pages because of their experience in life and what they've been through. So I think if everybody is thinking this way, we would have a better world to live in, where we all sort of understand one another, and we're living mutually interrelatedly with one another without having any issues.
Thank you, Bukky. I'm just going to take a break here to say hello to our viewers. We have Naomi. Naomi is calling in. I'm not so sure what country. Can you just comment below? Because I want to give you some good honor and respect this morning. We have Helen Alawuru calling in from Canada. Thank you so much. And we have Esther from Nigeria. Thank you. Now, on the topic of respect, guys, if you're just joining us, and this is Civilized Presence, it is a Facebook series, and it's happening here. You can join us in the Civility Party every Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You are in the right place at the right time, receiving the right message. And the message for today is respect. Now, different people have various expectations or perceptions of the word respect. And this is based on our culture, our religious values, and our experiences. For many people, respect is understood to be something you have to earn. Someone on the comments had said reciprocal. I know she's going to learn better today. So we often hear people say, he or she has to earn my respect, right? However, for most people, when we say he or she doesn't respect me, we are actually saying that based on the way that person had treated us, that we did not feel valued, or we just felt they brushed us over. Now, Bukky, so I have a question for you. So based on civility point of view, do you think that this is a good approach to respect, waiting to be respected first? And should we respect people only because they earned it? Over to you, Bukky.
Thank you, Louisa. Just a continuation from where I stopped earlier. Respect is not something to be earned. Like I said earlier, I'm going to reiterate again. Respect is something that we ought to give to every single their age, their kind, their caliber. It really doesn't matter. Respect is something that everyone deserves to receive from each and every one. So I mean, as far as civility is concerned, we would
we're losing you,
is meant to
Bukky.
be earned. No respect is earned. Respect is something that you ought to give, not because of anything in particular, but because, like I said earlier, because you love them and because they're human, just like you. You would see that even dogs, cats are being respected. Even the society frowns at treating them anyhow. So how much more human being that, they're just like you, they are created in your likeness. And I think, if you see that, you will be able to understand the fact that, nobody has to work so hard to respect. For the man out there, you don't have to say to your wife, because I work so hard to put food on the table, then you need to respect me. You need to respect your wife or your husband in spite of what and what they're not doing, and it's expected that we also respect our children in spite of what they're not doing. A lot of times when you hear those sort of statements, like you mentioned, Louisa, when people start to say to you, you earn my respect, it's coming from our selfish side, And that's when you're thinking of you and you're not looking at things, from the angle of the other person. Perception is a very, very key thing as far as civility is concerned. And also the intention is so key, for civility. So where is that coming from? What is your action intended towards when you show those things? So it's very important that we understand that we love people. We respect people, not because of what we're able to get from them, not because of what they're able to offer us, but we respect them just because they're human, just like us. And they deserve every single respect, and also to make them feel comfortable wherever we find ourselves, So that's really key for each and every one of us. And I think if you don't take anything away today, viewers, it's important that you go away knowing that respect is not meant to be earned, but respect is meant to be received by each and every one and given. It's a gift.
Thank you, Bukky. I have some more people on the line. We have Fumi from Nigeria, yay! And we have Yemi from London, UK. Yemi, it's a good thing that you're here because we have Bukky from London, UK. She's a certified master civility trainer. So you might want to contact her later on. And because you're just coming on board, we are talking about respect. The month of May is the Global Civility Awareness Month. What is a better time to show respect? Guys, we have been talking about respect since the beginning of this session. I just want to say that the time for us continuing to stress on how we want the world to be a better place is far gone. Now it is time for us to try to make the change. We must learn how to be the change we want to see in the world. And trust me, many of us know what is right or wrong. And we understand why it is important to show respect and kindness. But the struggle is always staying on and being consistent and incorporating it into our day-to-day relationships. So my final question to you, Bukky, this morning, it's going to be that a lot of times we get asked questions about what are good manners. What's the difference between good manners, etiquette, and civility? So, of course, treating others with respect can be referred to as having good manners. And etiquette are rules of conduct. While civility is really being aware of our actions and making sure that in everything that we do, we are responsible for constantly seeking to ease the experience of other people. So my question is, when we say respect is one of the 3 R's of civility, are we referring to just respecting the rules? Bukky, can you please explain to us what respect means in civility?
Thank you, Louisa. Once again, respect as far as civility is concerned is not the respect that we all know. And I think the respect that we all know is what has brought us to this point that we're in. And in order to embrace change, we need to keep learning. And like Louisa said, we love learning, as far as civility is concerned. It's a place to continually learn and learn and learn and learn and keep learning until you go to your grave. What do we learn really? We learn how to deal with people. We learn how to make the world a better place. We learn how to make sure that people are constantly at ease when they're with us. We learn to ensure that, we're considerate of other people. We're conscious of, our actions, our reactions, and just to make sure that everyone is happy, because we're here, because every single one of us, we're a gift to the world, and we have to understand that. Now, going back to your question, Louisa, as far as civility is concerned, respect is not the everyday thing that we talk about when we say respect your elders, which of course that's what we all know, like I said earlier, for those who are just joining. It's something that we would say to a child, you know, you need to respect the elders, you need to, you know, respect your friend, you need to respect people's spaces. But do we really do that out of rules, or are we doing it because we're more civil? Now, as a civilized person, you're not going to work because the rule says so. You need to understand the why. You know, that's what civility is all about. We take you back to making sure that you understand the why of your actions, you know, the why that you do things, and make sure that, you know, things are actually sunk well, and the output is what is important. Because at the end of the day, you see a tree, but you don't know how the tree has gotten there. You take the fruit, it's very beautiful, or sorry, it's tasty to your taste bud, but how did the fruit grow is what we don't know. And that's what we do behind doors as far as civility is concerned. We put all the necessary things in place to help people adjust, so that they begin to understand that, you know, when you give respect, it's not coming from a place of rules, but it's actually coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of understanding, where you know that, you know, you respect somebody because they are human. You respect the other person because you understand them from a social intelligence part of our teaching. You know, you respect somebody because you understand their culture and what their culture entails. You know, so it's really getting to know people and respecting them, because, you know, you've gotten to know the core of who they are. You know, what likes are, what their dislikes are, and being able to, you know, relate to them in that way, but not imposing yourself or your beliefs on people, but understanding them and treating them right, you know, just the way they deserve to be treated. So respect is not meant to be a rule. Respect is meant to be something that comes from within, you know, that comes from who you are, that comes from your intentions towards making sure that other people feel the way they want to feel because of how they want to be treated.
Thank you, Buki. Very well said. Just before we go, we're not going to forget our children at home. Because based on culture, like, for example, the African culture, as soon as you talk about respect, it's like, I'm older than her, she should be respecting me. Respect is for kids. Okay, well, it is important that we try to foster respect in the school environment and train our kids to be respectful. Buki, I had introduced you at the beginning of the session to have a lot of programs and have worked confidently with children in the UK. Are there any programs or any steps that you think that we could follow that would help to foster respect in the home or in the school environment?
Thank you so much, Louisa. It's so interesting you're asking that question. At the end of the month, during the afternoon period, I have a program coming up, or I have programs coming up for children, which will be on the 30th and the 31st. So from children to teenagers, watch out for flyers that will be following. I have programs coming up, you know, that will be addressing a lot of things that, you know, we struggle with from the home front. Recently in the UK, there's a lot of things happening, and, you know, most of this dysfunction is not necessarily from a child, because a child would not wake up to want to be rude or mean to the other person, but because they lack the understanding, you know. So we need to take them back to basics, you know. We need to take them back to school and get to put those things back in their core system, where they begin to understand how important it is, you know, these values are to have to the world that we are in today, even to be able to network or to socialize or to have a wonderful experience. I think you need to be equipped. So if you've got younger ones, you've got teenagers, I think this is something you don't want to miss out on. Get going. Add me on Facebook. Add me on Instagram. Bukky Odusote Worldwide is the name of the business. Once you Google Bukky Odusote, you will find me on so many places. And yes, you would definitely see the flyers going round. I'm so passionate about this topic. It's about building civility in our homes, building civility in our churches, in the community as at large, and also all over, the world. It's so key, and in schools as well. Watch out, there's so much happening over the half-term holiday in May from the 29th to the 1st of June.
Thank you so much, Bouquet. It was so nice to have you this morning. Thank you. We have learned so much. I know that we had to hit you with a lot of questions, but when we have the expert in the house, what a better time to ask the questions, right? And we have our viewers who are just waiting to learn from you. You've done such an amazing work in the UK with children in the workplace. I am so proud of you. So guys, thank you for being on to this time. Join me again, same time on Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where we'll continue not talking about respect, but something more fun. And guess what? We have a surprise on Friday. Make sure that you're here on time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. It was so nice to have you. And if you have any comments or any questions, do not hesitate to put them down below. We always come back to answer to those questions. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day and a fantastic week ahead. Bye-bye.